People love to be scared. The things that go bump in the night. The shadow that seems to move across the wall, ever closer to where we lie hidden beneath our blankets. And the voices from downstairs. Oh, are they real, or are they just products of our overactive imagination? Hello, I'm Archibald McGilvery, curator of the Atlantic Museum of Folklore and Legend. As many of you know, our little corner of the world is simply ripe with tales of terror, ghost stories, creatures coming from the sea, witches and werewolves in Oak Island gold, and terrors in all shapes and sizes. Our fearful legends go back generations, if not further. When the first explorers landed on our rocky coastlines, the first thing they did was devise tales of what could be out there in those menacing dark woods of this new land. From this tradition came a tale that most people scarcely believed could come from the quaint, peaceful island of Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. A character that would go on to become one of the most recognizable faces, so to speak, in film history. A character that would go on to inspire other legendary creations such as Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger. I'm speaking, of course, of Black Jack Smith. When the first Black Jack movie was made in 1979, it was not even imagined it would spawn a whole series of films, let alone 2 television series, a collection of comic books, and 3 beloved Christmas specials. Originally, Black Jack was meant to be the first chapter in a series of one-shot maritime spook stories. Stories that many of us grew up listening to in Atlantic Canada around our summer campfires. The now nearly forgotten Tales from the Campfire. The first film in the series was called Tales from the Campfire, Jack Smith, the Blacksmith's Son. I'm lucky enough to have one of the stars of that pivotal film here today, Betsy Lee Curtis. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Could you tell your many fans what it was like to be a part of film history?
Yes, I am a legend in film. A very important legend in film. And it is nice. Most of the time, you see, because when we did the film, we weren't sure what it would be at the beginning. And now I am a very important part of film history.
When you started the first Black Jack movie, did you have expectations that it would become the legend of film world cinema history that it has become?
No. When we first did the film, it was a very low-budget piece, particularly about tales told at campfires around Cape Breton. We were a very small part of this film, so we didn't know what it would be, but we knew we were working on something important.
I understand that you and the director, Stephen Bleck, had a complicated working relationship during the filming of the original Black Jack movie. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Stephen Bleck was a brilliant man. Terrible lover, very sloppy. But he wanted the fear to be real. At one point, he actually set the cabin to fire with us inside. He wanted us to experience the terror that we as characters had inflicted upon Sarah Smith. It sent most of us to the hospital and set filming back 3 months while my hair grew back in. It was so short when we did the film, so short.
You have been an idol of literally generations of Blackjack fans. Could you tell me about how you and they communicate and get along and relate to each other?
Oh, the encounters have always been pleasant. I still get recognized, and I expect much more after this. But our relationship is, I'm up here, and they're here, and they look up at me, and I wave, hello, hello, all my fans, hello.
Thank you for joining us, Miss Curtis.
No, thank you.
And now, a scene from Tales from the Campfire. Jack Smith, the blacksmith's son.